What should I do? Hello. Okay. I hope you all, just like me, enjoyed this morning's dialogues and also presentations. And I actually personally have learned a lot from this morning's presenters and a lot of interesting themes going on. And unfortunately, I have to, and this is a very big unfortunate thing, and I have to leave after my presentation because I have a flight this late this afternoon to Australia to get some more recruit some more new talents. We have Conrad with us, but we want more. And so I won't be here tomorrow. And but I will, of course, we have online streaming broadcasting. I will following all the dialogues. I hope I continue to learn from all of the presenter of our conference. So my topic, I want to mention something on AI. And this morning, actually, we have discussed heavily on this topic, AI, and how to understand its challenge. But I want to take a different angle. Maybe we have tried the AI translation. We know its capacity, its limited capacity, but maybe let's turn on another, use another angle, which is my topic, 再见 Homo sapiens and the LLMs and the post-human condition. Let's first start, of course, this October. We all know that this is something new. The first time Nobel Prize winner has controversials, right? The Hopfield, Hinton, for Nobel Prize in physics. And I don't know about you, and in China, actually, at least in my what we call the friend circle, we had a little bit heated debate. And one of my good colleagues from Fudan University, actually Professor Wang knows very well personally, Bai Tongdong, Professor Bai, mentioned something very vehemently on this this decision on the Nobel. He claimed that because he, of course, was trained as a physicist in his undergraduate years. And Professor Bai said that this is insane. This coming out is actually very insane because they have, those computer scientists, they have a Turing Award. Why they have to come to the physical studies to take this Nobel Prize in physics? A lot of physicists waiting for so long, but why to grab their chance to be successful, to be recognized? And the next day, of course, the Nobel Prize in chemistry. We all know, right? Baker is, of course, a biologist, but Hazabis, in terms of their works, and the Jumper is we all know the chief scientist of AlphaFold. Hazabis is actually a very successful, of course, leader in commercial world, the technological commercial world. But why they haven't published one paper in what we call the structural molecular biology? They haven't trained as a biologist or a chemist. So this is a kind of very bold new thing, but with, of course, a lot of controversials. And I will say that this Nobel Prize committee, Professor Bai Tongdong believed that they go insane. They made a very unfair judgment. But my judgment, my take on this is they go both radical and conservative. They are radical because this time they really want to recognize something new, entirely new. We can give credits to the works have done not by originally the same field. We can go cross-disciplinary. We have to notice that there are very interesting new advancements in made by in other areas. However, still conservative. Why? Because Nobel Prize committee has to put still the human face on the wall. So that causes this controversies because yes, those faces, they haven't done strictly, to put it strictly, the corresponding works in the field, right? Even Hinton, right? The one of the founding father of artificial neural networks. But however, he himself hasn't published one paper on physics. Of course, Sora and other models, now we can understand those models as physical engines, but unfortunately not, like Hopfield and Hinton. So the thing is actually why we still cannot put AI there. AI AlphaFold is responsible for new development in that field, not Jumper. Jumper is responsible for the invention, maybe, of that model. And Hopfield, of course, Hinton, are responsible for this approach towards artificial neural network. Therefore, we have, 20 years later, we have Sora, we have Genie, a lot of new models. But they personally do not responsible, they are not physicists. So I do believe this, in our world, a lot of interesting going on, both radical and also conservative. We only recognize each other. We have to put a fellow human beings face there. Otherwise, we cannot make sense of what is going on. Why we can't to put a faceless, and even like in this morning, Professor Roberto mentioned that this thing without body be there as well. So I would like to refer to LLMs as knowledge producers, postmodern intellectual practices. I think we all agree that, right, with this smarter and smarter models, the quality of their works, those texts, getting better and better. Of course, our translations still have problems, but they are really powerful, even in comparison with a lot of simultaneous translators. If we put human simultaneous translators, maybe they can be good at with names. But in terms of the structure of sentence, in terms of getting all the message delivered, maybe, because human brain, we have limits. We have to first understand the dialogue, what is going on, the whole sentence. Then we do this, actual translating thing in our brain to turn it to another language. Then we speed out. But for AI, there's no such understanding part. So that's why they think differently. They don't have to understand you in order to get your message translated into another language. That's why they become much faster. So all of those limits, of course, we now notice those limits with names, sometimes inventing something very weird, but they can be getting better very quickly. And in my view, they are really good knowledge producers. And unfortunately, I have to mention this. I know this is bad news for a lot of our colleagues, the death of secondary literature. We have, of course, this is actually important works, introductory works, right? A lot of Chinese scholars, right? When we start to learn from those very important contemporary thinkers, usually we start, especially French philosophers, especially we started with introductory works because, a lot of, especially this time, again, with French thinkers, a lot of jargons, a lot of, unpenetrable terms. So we need those works. So there's always a big room for a lot of, scholars working in this area, what we call the secondary literature. They are important in our academic world. However, until recently, we have something really, really powerful besides us. Now, even my students, when they try to understand, for instance, Jacques Derrida or even Jacques Lacan, maybe not the teachers, professors they want to talk to, they can easily talk to larger models, getting those, complicated jargons done. And LLMs, they have, one strong suit to make, very simple and, concise, maybe just 600 words, and this concept explained very well. And without, I might add, personal understanding or misunderstanding. So when we deliver, when we try to, repeat, of course, that's Gilles Deleuze's idea, repeat something already existing. We might add something into it, or we might reduce something, or we might, twist a little bit. And of course, this is what we blame AI for what we call hallucination. But the problem is we hallucinated a lot, much heavier than them. When we try to, if students ask the question, well, what is the Immanuel Kant's, I don't know, the some ideas, right? Actually, Professor Wang mentioned when Kant mentioned what is human being. What does it mean? What is such a why Kant raised another metaphysical question on human being? Maybe this time, right? We have LLMs. We can compare the answers. Human professor, even a Kant expert can offer, and ChatGPT has read all Kant's work in original language, all the volumes from page 1 to page 531. No page left out. So this is actually one of the things we are facing. And how about scholars working in science? This is actually a model developed by Huawei, a Chinese company. It's even not a research institute, a group of scholars, researchers working in Huawei, big company. This is their paper published last June on Nature. That's the first time for Huawei to publish their works on Nature. So we already see some, right? Internationally, we have this thing going on, Sino-US problem. Fortunately, our editors in science and social science, in humanity, they can do, much more fair jobs, So if, this work, if the, editorial board of Nature has a little bit hesitation, they can, of course, they can find a million reasons to delay it, to send out to more anonymous reviewers to prolong. And we all know the end of last year, Jingsen Huang from NVIDIA published, released what they call the Earth 2.0, an even more powerful model than this one in weather casting. So if they find some reason, to delay a little bit, Chinese publication, then this whole thing is worthless in publicating this paper. So fortunately, our editors, working in science, social science, and humanities, they really do a fair job. And we have this. And why they just let it to be there? It is because they are so good. It's much better than a lot of, human scientists working. Actually, ECNU, we have scholars working on whether, the whole complex system of weather. But I have to add, they are good, but not as good as Nanjing University. Professor Liu Huaiyu comes from Nanjing University. You guys have a very, very actually among the top in China, on scientists working on weather forecasting. So I'm actually quite curious about maybe the chancellor of Nanjing University, Professor Liu, maybe knows the answer later. I think he has a dilemma. Because he knows, he cannot, the next day, after reading this, the next day, let go all of those scientists who haven't done anything wrong. They are good in comparison with other human scientists. They are really good. They are working hard, very hard, arduously. They are not like getting lazy. But the problem is now we have something, or maybe not something, right? Some agents who can do research alongside. They are already there in the horizon, but you just choose not to look at them. So the dilemma is, do you, the chancellor, still, offer support, money, financial support? We have to know it's not like they have to add some zeros, in terms of, in comparison with the money they give to, the social sciences and humanity. For instance, the money comes to my school. They have to add some zero if they want to really support those researchers, those scholars. But the problem is we know that's doing something in vain. So we have much better quality works there done by non-humans, post-humans. But we still, we have to have the human face. And our society do not function this way. We have to still let everything operate as usual, pretending, tomorrow is the same tomorrow. Maybe already we have experienced a huge changes. It's already happening. And I want to, in the next part, start some polemics with several AI scholars. And the first one is coming from Professor Toby Walsh, leading computer scientist in New South Wales University. And also I also an academician of their Academy of Science and Engineering in Australia. I invited him this July to Shanghai in attending WAIC. And actually quite interestingly, we all know, right? The recent years, it's all getting complicated, and even Australia does not want, academic exchange, because Professor Toby Walsh is a computer scientist. They said, okay, you shouldn't go. Your ideas is pressure. So this is ridiculous. And Toby, as a good friend of mine, really reject this. And he came. I said to him, of course, try to seduce him. I said to him, you just published a new book, and you will have a lot of audience in China, and we like to have a dialogue with you. And the title of the book, Faking It, actually, those scientists, computer scientists and even physicists, they have a very good capacity to come up with the titles, right? The Faking It, artificial intelligence in a human world. We really want to know artificial intelligence in a human world. And the basic idea is, for Professor Walsh, is as a computer scientist, try to reassure us, human beings, fellow human beings, don't worry, right? This is what actually AI is really good at, which is faking things, right? Like we know the deep fake, we know everything about that. That is a thing going on, right? The AI is really, we don't need to, it's not a real challenge. It's not a real danger, because this is what they do, faking it. But my problem with this argument is, of course, I agree with all the technological, analysis. But the problem is, we all know, human beings, we know really, this thing called faking it. We fake things. I want to use one example. Now, of course, we know the U.S. Presidential election, right? Donald Trump has won, and we maybe something will be interesting happening next year, and we don't know about the next 4 years. But the thing is, during the election, we all know Trump actually personally in the social media X, right, mentioned something like the Taylor Swift's endorsement, right? There's a pictures of Taylor Swift endorsing, wearing those patriotic costume, supporting Trump and all her fans. And this makes Taylor Swift really angry, and she came. We all know the story, and saying this is deep fake. There's none of this authentic. It's all deep fake. Let's really think about that. Can we blame AI? AI just has done a wonderful job, actually, excellent job. We use the prompts, ask it to fulfill a job, and this job wonderfully done is better than human beings can do. But it is Trump team. It is human beings are making this thing to use it to fake things. It's not AI try to fake anything. It is human beings. We are still faking. Now we have someone or something to blame. We call this, okay, faking it. You are faking it. We are faking. We are faking it for so long, right? The entire history of human civilization, or even Western civilization, full of fakings. We mentioned fake news this morning, right? All the faking, even as Professor Wang mentioned, this digitalized public sphere, so many faking things happening, and we choose to ignore. And how about, just the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and later, the fact check, Trump mentioned more than 30 lies just in front of the camera, and no consequence. And of course, his opponent, Joe Biden, suffered, right? He pushed, even by his own party members, pushed out. And wait a minute, let's not forget 1998. The president then, Bill Clinton, facing the camera, said one lie openly about not national, international affairs, about his personal affair. He said he claimed he had not, we all know the story, the sexual relationship with that woman. He said because he maybe the people believe even oral sex is also sexual relationship. So he lied to the camera. We know what happened. The formal impeachment almost lost his presidency. What happened 26 years later? We can face the camera. People can accept this is okay. We don't care about the faking news, the lies. Just let it, we can even make this guy to the president once again. So this is first problem. We blame AI. Is it the problem of AI? And also another problem I had with the physicist and also computer scientist Max Tegmark, we all know from MIT, who published a book in 2017 with the title Life 3.0, which in my view is still one of the best works on AI. And Tegmark, last year I invited him to give us a talk on, because he actually wrote a public letter which has the endorsement from, more than 1,000 computer scientists and even Elon Musk, all of them supporting his idea, which is to suspend the development, to develop more powerful model than GPT-4, and at least to suspend it for 6 months. And in my institute, he mentioned something like, let's, of course, keep AI under control. I said, okay, I support actually maybe some of what he said in the public, the open letter. But the thing is, when you use this phrase, keeping AI under control, wait a minute, control is a political term, right? It implies that you must first have power to control something, right? Where's the power? Who controls this power? So you keeping AI under control, under whose control? And of course, this is why I love talking to physicists instead of political scientists. Physicists, they are very kind of authentic. Tegmark replied, of course, keeping AI under humanity's control. And my following problem with this argument is, since when humanity started to act as one collective? Name one just in the existing history of entire human civilization. None. We still divide. This world is still divided. Americans, Chinese, Jews, people living in, South Africa. We divide men, women, LGBTQ. Under whose control? So this is actually another thing. We thought we can make this happen, and this is the existing problem in our civilization. We don't really work very well with each other. Now we have new challenges. So all the problems still maintain unsolved. And this is also my friend, STS scholar, Robert Brown. Also this July, he gave a very interesting analysis on AI. He claimed that AI is actually bullshitter, because quoting Harry Frankfurter's work on bullshitting, and he claimed that AI is actually what AI produces. It's not truth, but also not lies. It's just bullshitting all the time. So what he described is as a bullshit ontographer. And this way, he's worried about this world, like Professor Wang Xingfu. So many AIs produced, and later AI will replacing human beings. Managing, to organizing the whole world, and this will be a problem. And of course, we still need to ask the original question: human beings, we are bullshitter. If in speaking of bullshitting, this is Frankfurt's idea, right? It's not lying, but we talk all the time those bullshit stuff, and it is, of course, in our public sphere. This is maybe Professor Wang so worried about. Today's, the rise of populism, and we don't really discuss serious things, because thinking actually takes a lot of energy. We don't really want to think. Maybe bullshitting, right? Lying is much easier. So this is essentially wrong with our civilization, and we blame on AI. AI now takes the blame as a bullshitter. How about us? Why we cut us a slack? Just let us, go so easily. So this is 3 polemics. And very quickly, I will claim, like, right, this is, I think a lot of you will agree with me, maybe not agree with me on the AI analysis, but the dominance of anthropocentric perspective in political, technological, even ecological discourses. We really want to place ourselves at the center. So this is why in this morning group photo, and my good friend, Professor Mahoney, asked me to, you are the host, you should stand in the middle. I said, no, I refuse to stand in that position, in the middle, in the center. We don't do that. At least in my school, we don't do that. This is the way, human beings so good at. Even we remember, right, Donald Trump once, the first term, right, once he late for the group photo taking, and he pushed out other leaders, from European country, and he placed himself in the center of the stage. So this is what we do. The anthropocentric, even this time AI, right? AI has to serve us. This is why this is what we call the AI ethics. So Professor Panbin knows a lot because his department, the philosophy department, developing this AI ethics. So I think ethics, what is ethics? Ethics is about what I do. The current, it reflects always a question about, like Kant raise, in what, like criteria should I, do act or decide, make a decision for my current action. It's not about other persons, or even now AI. The message is now human beings, we know, for so long we are unethical beings. Now this time AI should be ethical, which means that AI should do everything to make us happy. So all of this, even ecological, right? That's why a lot of people, it's not about that they really pay attention to the suffering of the earth. It's really about they become uncomfortable. So the extreme weather, getting too cold, too hot, they talk about, okay, even I'm rich, but now it's the global, the planetary problem. I cannot be excluded. So I suffer like a poor man. So that's why there's a lot of, in the West, a lot of ecological discourses, which is very superficial. Still, there's no awareness of the problem with the Gaia, with our Earth. So all of this being said, talking, because this morning Roberto talked about a new kind of humanism. Yes, we need a new kind of humanism. This old kind of, it sickens me a lot. So it is really human exceptionalism. So very quickly, we talk about of course, with the Fukuyama's 20 years ago published book, Our Post-Human Future. And we all know Francis Fukuyama really rejected this prospect. He said that this is the end of human being, the end of humanity. So biological development, the technological development, we should cancel that. So 20 years ago already this attitude. And I want to also mention the Jean von Neumann, the mathematician, the physicist, and also computer scientist. Right before he passed away, 1957, he mentioned something very interesting. The ever-accelerating progress of technology. We know other sectors, do the math, other sector, technology, we know. Actually, at that time, it's not like an exponential development, still, but ever accelerating. But other sectors of our society, our civilization, really not that fast, even go backwards, right? For instance, what happens in the political arena really go backwards. So the mathematician tells us that gives the appearance of approaching some essential singularity in the history of the race, entire race, beyond which human affairs as we know them could not continue. We naively believe tomorrow will be the same. We have enough existing wisdom, right? Now we have the challenge of AI, right? They think differently. They are impenetrable. We still think we can control them, like the old time we control, like a colonialist mindset, the other, right? For instance, the Chinese, they use different concepts. We talk about the real, like abstraction, those concepts, they think differently. We have to keep them because we don't know them, or we don't understand how they think. Maybe that means danger. So all of those thinking, maybe the entire body of existing wisdom is not enough for us to think forward. So very quickly, we have this term technological singularity. This is why I named this institute the Institute of Singularity Studies. It's not about, we talk about the universe, singularity in the universe, but the singularity of our civilization. We are facing problem. We believe we have we know, we thought we know, but we don't know. The existing, we have a lot of great thinkers, right? We mentioned today, Professor Liu Huayi mentioned Hegel, Nietzsche, and Marx even included, but they haven't, really tried to face the problems at our, in our horizon. We are facing like ecological mutations, a lot of, like even like Immanuel Kant. Personally, he has no idea. He has no such ecological awareness or technological threats. So we are facing something like technological singularity. And we know this 19 years ago, Ray Kurzweil published a book with the title Singularity is Near. And this June published the second one, the sequel, The Singularity is Nearer, suggesting that we have to think something in a very different, from a very different horizon. But my problem with those futurists is they always, is in the morning, a lot of scholars mention, those people, they picture a very, rosy and, full of, possibility, and we don't have to worry about anything, and the singularity is nearer, and let's embrace it. Like we can prolong our life biologically, etc., etc. Actually, I would claim, of course, the concept singularity itself suggests that we know that we don't know it. We don't know what is going on. That's singularity means. I don't want to go to the physics, right? The singularity or the black hole, the whole theory of the singularity. We don't know. We have, that's it belongs to the domain of known unknowns. We know we don't know. How come we can be so confident that that's something good awaiting us, always being so naive, something good awaiting us? That's my thesis called 陷入起点. So falling into or trapping into singularity. Actually, this could be a horrific experience because we don't know. And that's actually the whole book published 2021. This is the second edition. And the second edition, I have the control over the book cover. I asked them to give me a blue background because technology is blue and our little planet is blue. And I asked the designer to give me this fragmented singularity. So we are actually moving, like von Neumann mentioned, we are crashed into singularity. This experience won't be a nice one. And we do not respond very well to, to something we don't know. We act madly, especially to the so-called unknown. And our world, unfortunately, to use Bernard Stiegler's word, full of entropy. He says that this is not Anthropocene. This Anthropocene means chaos. This, look at so I'm happy, all of scholars traveling afar to Shanghai, to my school. I'm very happy that we need to meet face to face. Otherwise, that's a problem, right? So we start to have those manufactured hatred because we don't talk to each other. We don't even want to meet each other. And the people respond with, Donald Trump even mentioned this. He used, I think, reverse psychology about, immigrants, right? When you sleep, they come to your house, they kill you, they open your throat. Those kind of words, of course, he got a lot of support, a lot of votes, because this is Thomas Hobbes once again, right? You are worried about something, you go for the Leviathan. Even this is a lie. Who is killing who? You don't meet a person in China. Several months ago, a guy killed a Japanese kid on his way to the school, 5 years older. What kind of cruel person you are? And this is because people stop talking to each other. And they start to grow some manufactured hatred. So I would claim this is our world is heading because we have a lot of, challenges and we don't know what is going on. And the primitive reaction is to go violence, to be violent. So of course, I run off my time. AIGC for me will go to AIGW. So my thesis is, I gave a formula in my book, is wording. Of course, word is never, is there. Word is not a word. Word is always changing. We are responsible in this, participating or even co-constituting the world. So word is wording. Wording equals wording without L, wording plus AI generating. We all know we put some words, prompts into the model and the model generate. But I would claim this works also pre-AI, right? Our world is also equal wording. This is we scholars, philosophers, we invent concepts, right? We put words and of course, this time not AI generating, but of course, political figures and also civil society, we generate a word. For instance, this morning, I think Professor Wang Xinfu mentioned the concept of human rights, right? This is the invention. It's not a discovery. This is the invention, right? We have Thomas Hobbes, we have John Locke, we have so many Western European scholars invented this word. We don't, Chinese tradition, we don't have this word. Rights, we have right or wrong, but we don't have rights. But since we have rights, this world, the world we are living in, is maybe still yet a human rights embedded world. So a lot of people, to make it happen, this is also wording, right? If we put, other words like immigrants killing us, right? Or Chinese people are stealers and Mexicans are rapists. Look at what kind of world we will be. So this is the world we are actually moving towards. So this is a book I published last year with the title From Metaverses to Quantum Realities. The subtitle is Towards a Post-Humanist Political Ontology. So, of course, in my view is technological people, experts, and quantum physicists, they don't really talk to each other. Maybe it takes a philosopher to connect both. I don't have time to go to details, but we know, right, even from the hard physics, this world, this physical world is not fully constituted, let alone political world. So actually, this morning, John Wheeler, of course, at the target of criticism, but John Wheeler also mentioned something like a participatory universe. It is actually, even with quantum physics, the more you're looking at the universe, you might change even retroactively the entire history of this part of the universe. I don't have time because the light is a quantum phenomenon. So even physical, of course, let alone we have metaverse, we have VR. So Plato's cave, the story of cave, still it's a very interesting story, right? Our world a simulated world. There's a lot of scholars working on it. I don't have time to go into. We don't have this. We cannot determine the ontological truth of our reality. So going to both sides, the only conclusion we can get is our world is changeable. So even physical world is changeable, but let alone our political world. So let's go back to Karl Marx. We know this very interesting, very powerful thesis, what we call 11 thesis, right? The past philosophers, we all know that are very good at interpreting the world. But the point is to change it. But I will maybe add a little bit. Karl Marx hasn't really mentioned the ontological possibility, why this world is changeable. If we know the Newtonian model, right? Now we even have this the word called overdeterminism. The whole world is a causal chain, right? Currently, I'm standing here because all the neural network is working because I had a very good lunch. So everything, even there's a science indicating everything when I speak from my mouth 2 nanoseconds ago, it's already done. So if you can go back to the end of the beginning, the Big Bang, because the whole big. So we thought the future is open because epistemologically we don't know. It's actually already decided, but we don't know it. We thought it's still we are making the history. So this Newtonian model world leaves us nowhere. Unfortunately, we have this morning a lot of scholars, even Roberto raised a question to Frank. The quantum physics has offered us hopes. So actually, what we do here, a lot of friends coming here, we actually through a conversation, it matters, right? So we can collectively making things happen. Maybe we are talking about with Paul a new book. A lot of things. Maybe the book can influence many young minds. We don't know. So this world is changeable, even physical world. And Karl Marx was right. The point is to change the world. Why we stop this? And this is currently what we are doing. And Professor He Ming is here. We are working with NVIDIA. Currently, they have some trouble in China. But anyway, we try to establish a relationship with them to build a lab. So maybe we can study the world using AI, using data, right? We have a lot of philosophers, social scientists, but this time working with AI. I believe we can do things very differently. So the last part is the end of history, but what kind? Fukuyama talking about the existing American model is the end of history, but of course, maybe we need to thinking about the end. If we don't do things quick, the Earth maybe does not have a lot of time to, for us to the Anthropocene. We all know the theory. Tomorrow morning, Jason Moore will talk more about the current situation we are facing. Really, actually, it's not like tomorrow is always there. Maybe we don't have a tomorrow. And Catherine Malabou, once again, the actual supervisor of Conrad, a wonderful student and a wonderful supervisor. And Malabou, in her 2019 book, Morphing Intelligence, mentioned something very insightfully. She said the task for humanity is to lose control, very dialectical, to lose control of intelligence. Don't don't take it so naively. We're still in control of this intelligence. We should maybe, in terms of a lot of even research areas, allow this, to open up a little bit of space for this AI, right? For they to do their work. For instance, the biology and also weather casting, all those, system of complexity. We know complexity and complication, they are two different words. Complexity, there's so many agents working in, interacting with each other. Then our human mind transformer, right? We know GPT transformer can, like connecting dots within originally like 6,000 words, 6,000 tokens, now millions tokens. We human beings, after reading several books, we start, it's very hard for us to make a connection jumping through this. So AI is very good at a lot of things. So actually, this is important to lose control, but of intelligence, but intelligently. If do it just bluntly, there might be consequences. Intelligently, can we do that? This makes us humans, maybe Homo sapiens. So the last page, this is a book coming out several months ago with Peking University Press, with the title 再见 Homo sapiens, or Farewell to Homo sapiens, techno science and the post-human condition. The idea is, I talked to a Paul, we had this idea like the Vitruvian man. That's the highlight of the human civilization, right? We start to see not only God, but ourselves become more important. Actually, even we should place ourselves in the center. All the ratio of our body. This time, once again, the body is so perfect. But the problem is this: we all know is a Caucasian figure. It won't be an Asian. There won't be a Chinese figure because we don't have like you guys long legs, right? This is even. Today's algorithm has this like colonialist, aesthetic colonialism, because a lot of girls in this room know Chinese, our algorithm, when there's one button, you can beautify yourself, but always make your face smaller, make your legs longer. Why we do that? Because Caucasian people look like that. We don't even want to see ourselves in the, and the Korean people, right? They really done something bloody to themselves. They cut their bone from a lot of Korean women cut from their face, so make their face smaller. And of course, they have problem prolong their legs. If technology allows, they will do that, make their legs. So this won't be an Asian guy. This won't be a woman. Women do not look like that. So we need to say goodbye to this model. I want to say this is AI presents a new possibility, right? We call ourselves Homo sapiens, but this naming is by ourselves. We call other like Homo erectus, our Homo sapiens. What is the sapiens part of being Homo sapien? Maybe now is the time we can verify this. We can prove, right? I use myself as an example. My name, as AI tells you that my name is the meaning of my name is champion. So it's really bad for a name, right? Who calls themselves champion? But the beauty of is my surname. My surname is Wu, means in Chinese none. It's not a champion, so it's not a champion. Otherwise, I will be. But the thing is that I think this name gives me. I'm not athletic, energetic, but I really spend my time working very hard to be a good scholar. So this time maybe Homo sapiens. It's not maybe if from the next. I don't know, the intelligent species gives what kind of name AI, for instance, will give us, what kind of species we are, the true color of ourselves. We shouldn't. So if we really want to be Homo sapien, maybe this is time in this new horizon. We show the world, show to each other what kind of with wise part, wisdom we can come up with, right? This world is heading to a chaotic, dangerous place, the future. So what kind of, with AI, what kind of wisdom we can come up with to make this world different? And the world is changeable. The point is to change the world. Thank you very much. I'm out of my time. Thank you.